welcome everyone, and thank you for joining in today's webinar on study in New Zealand by University of Waikato. As you all know, we are pleased to have our two experienced speakers here, Pavandeep Singh, Director and Licensed Advisor at Kiwiana Immigration, who brings over 10 years of experience in helping students with their New Zealand visa journey. And we also have Ms. Sheenam Bhatia, Marketing Officer at the University of Waikato, who will share useful insights about the university, its programs, and opportunities for students from this subcontinent. So, without a bit ado, I'll welcome everyone and Pavandeep and Sheenam. I will now forward to Sheenam to speak about and start the webinar. So over to you, Sheenam. I hope you're not getting, the voice thing. So I'm just sharing it with you so that you can start over.
Sure, right.
Yeah, your voice is coming, Sheenam, now.
Yeah, I think Navdeep, I have that, but I think the issue is while I will share my screen, so I'm not getting the pop-up for the share sound option. So I'm not sure whether you'll be able to hear the video that I will
All right.
have
If
to
you could
play in my
play it, if you
presentation.
could, yeah. So if you could play, let me see if we are getting or not, and then everybody will be able to know it. Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to do that now, or
Yes,
should I
please.
just, okay, I will just, I'll just stop to play video just to check if the sound is coming. It?
No, we can't hear you, this voice, I guess.
Yeah, that's the reason.
All right. So let me check if. Do you get a control from on your side? Because I have forwarded to you.
Mm. Yes, I got that. But again, that share sound option is not there.
Not showing. All right. If you can share the video later on. In the meanwhile, if you can start, Shinam, I think I will sort it out and then we can show it in middle of the meeting webinar somewhere. Yeah.
Sure, I'll do that. Right, so I'll just quickly share my screen.
You wanted to share your screen, Shinam?
Yeah, can you just see my screen?
No, we can't. So just let me
Can you
stop
see it
share and
now?
then probably, yeah.
Yeah,
Can you share now?
yeah, it's already shared. Can you see it?
Just a second. No, we can't see now.
I'll just share it again. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can see that.
All right. All right, so I'll just start. First of all, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome all of you to today's session, which is Study in New Zealand with the University of Waikato. And I would like to thank all of you so much for taking out the time to join us today, whether you're just starting to explore your options or you're already got your eyes set on a dream of studying in New Zealand or at Waikato, you are in the right place. So before we begin, let me just introduce myself. I'm Sheenam Bhatia, and I currently serve as a market officer India at the University of Waikato, New Zealand. So, over the past 8 years, I have had the privilege of working closely with students, universities, recruitment partners across India, guiding students just like you on their journey to studying abroad. But honestly, my passion and focus lies with the destination New Zealand. So today's webinar is all about giving you a clear and an honest, a practical understanding of what it's like to study in New Zealand. And also we'll try to cover everything from, choosing the right course, understanding your scholarships, life as an international student, and of course, how to get started with your application with us or with Kiwiana. So throughout the session, just feel free to drop your questions if you have, but we'll have a dedicated Q&A session towards the end to make sure all your doubts are addressed. So let's begin with understanding why New Zealand is a popular destination among students and why most of the students are preferring to, come and study in New Zealand. So if you look at, I have a few pointers. However, there are a lot more other factors also that influence students to come and study with us. But if you look at the major points that we have, so, like if you look at, of course, everybody would, agree with me that New Zealand definitely has beautiful landscapes. You have adventure tracks there, you have stunning beaches there. So it's very popular for its scenic beauty, its, welcoming nature, and, the beautiful, country that it is. And nowadays a lot of, because a lot of geopolitical changes, because it's happening everywhere else in the world, so a lot of students again are preferring to come into countries which are, safe, for international students. So apart from this, also if you look at all the universities, right? So all the universities in New Zealand, they're ranked in the top 2% universities in the world, right? So all of them are world recognized universities, right? And the qualifications are recognized all over the world, right? So all the universities are government universities. They're all public universities. There are no private universities in New Zealand, including the University of Waikato. Again, if we look at the country, so it is also ranked as one of the most safest countries in the world and also the fourth most peaceful country in the world as well, right, with zero corruption, right? So, again, the international students can enjoy that safety and that peacefulness, while they're there in the country. Then for students, these students who have already passed out, or maybe they're doing part-time jobs or they're into their full-time job opportunities, right? So you will see, and you can just take a feedback from most of them. And that is why New Zealand has been ranked number one in maintaining the work-life balance as well, right? So it is very, very popular, and all these students, because the Kiwis, the Maori people there in New Zealand, they're very friendly, and it maintains the work-life balance as well in the country. Again, as I've already spoken, that it gives you a multicultural environment and a safe environment in the country, right? So there are people from, every part of the world, studying there, coming there for, their settlement options or their study options or for their work opportunities. So, that offers a very multicultural environment to the students, right? Wherein you will see people from across the world. So even if you look at the University of Waikato campus, we do have people from, 60 different nationalities, studying at the campus right now. Again, if we move on to the tuition fees and the living expenses for New Zealand, so if you compare it with most of the other, countries, be it, Australia or US or other countries, so then, it is comparatively affordable tuition fees that you have and affordable living expenses that you have for most of the, courses that you come into, right? And again, there is no language barrier. So again, if you're coming in a country like New Zealand, so it's the number one English speaking country, for preparing students for the future. right? So English is one of the most spoken languages in New Zealand, right? So that is why students do not have to face a challenge in learning a new language or understanding a new language and, speak to the natives, or, maybe while finding a job, there is no challenge as such, because as I said, English is the most spoken language there. Then, if we look at the 1 year master's courses available, so I think New Zealand is one of the countries wherein you have an option of doing your 1 year master's courses, with the universities, and University of Waikato again has a lot of options for the 1 year master's courses available, right? And these master's courses are very popular because these are recognized all over the world. And students, it takes, less time for you to complete your master's courses, less tuition fees that you have to pay, so it's not a standard 2 year masters, but that doesn't mean that you're not getting the right skills or the right exposure. Even if you're doing the 1 year masters program, right, we help you to get in all the information, all the skill sets, all the exposure in that one particular master's course, so that you are able to get into the right job market once you have completed the program. um Again, if we look at the entry criterias for, getting into the University of Waikato or other university, mostly it's not as difficult as other countries, or even if I compare it to India, wherein, a lot of additional tests are required to be given, right? A lot of, entrance tests are there, or a lot of other criterias are required to get into the top universities. So here we will discuss about what are the entry criteria, but as compared to other countries or even getting selection into the Indian universities, it is much more easier for the students to come into. So that is also because, if you look at for, even if I talk about the University of Waikato, so for most of the courses, we do not require any sort of a work experience, for us. So any fresher student can go ahead and apply. So if you've just recently passed out your bachelor's and you want to come into a master's program, you do not require any work experience for our courses, or any sort of a, entrance test that you need to give in, like a GRE or a GMAT, or for undergraduate SAT examinations, right? So there are no additional tests to be given, or no work experience required. Or even if students have a lot of work experience, also they're mature applicants, even they've completed their bachelor's, long back, and now they have 15 years, 20 years of work experience also, and now they still want to do or pursue their higher education, that is completely fine. So New Zealand do offer, programs to those students, and getting a visa is not a challenge for mature applicants as well, which could be in some of the other countries. Then speaking about the double masters courses, so double masters again, students sometimes, in the other countries you do struggle, or some of the universities are quite skeptical about, accepting students who already have completed their master's programs, right? Be it in India or be it in any other country, right? So here in New Zealand or at Waikato, we are very, very flexible on looking at profiles who have already completed a master's program. So we do have a lot of specializations in our master's program for most of the students, right? So even if you've completed your master's in one particular area, we definitely suggest you to be aligned to, what you have done previously, but not coming into the same type of a program. So we do suggest students to come into a more specialized, sort of a program. So for example, if anybody would have done a BCom and an MBA, and now you want to do a double master's program, so we will suggest you to coming into, maybe a digital business program, a project management program, or a business analytics program, like for example. So with that, you are aligned to your industry and your previous studies, but again, you are also doing a course that will give you a career progression in the future, right? Again, if you look at the refusal point that I've mentioned here, so it's very important for us to understand, because sometimes, a lot of students gets demotivated because they say that they have got a previous refusal, be it a tourist visa refusal, or be it study visa refusal from any of the other countries, right? So New Zealand is is quite okay and flexible in looking at those cases. So until unless there are no serious rejections that you have in your profile, because most of the countries sometimes you have a very generic rejection that you will not come back to your home country, or maybe on your financials, right? So again, if it is a generic refusal that you have got from any other country, you can apply for New Zealand. That's completely fine. You can get in touch with Kiwiana Immigration and they can help you sort out your profile. And we have seen that students coming in from who would have chosen Australia in the first place, or maybe US in the first place, or even New Zealand in the first place, but they were not able to get their visas through. At the second time, when they've applied, they've, sorted their funds, they've shown the entire, amount that is required, and all the documents are, which are required, they have been in place, right? So they've got their visas approved, right? So you do not have to worry in case you have a previous refusal. Just get in touch with your counselor and they can help you further on how you can go ahead with it. Again, for mature applicants, I'm sure there will be a lot of people who have joined, who have, who already have a lot of work experience, or, who are mature applicants, right? So, to give you a clear picture, so in New Zealand, again, there is no age bar as such. So for students, who are mature applicants, so even at the university, we have students who are like 40, 45-year plus age and they're studying at the campus. So there's no age specifically for, getting yourself into an education in New Zealand, right? So you can definitely come and apply even if you've crossed 45, 50 years as well. So that's completely fine. Then the best part, I would say, for New Zealand visas is that all the payment that you have to done for the that you have to make for the fees, right, or for your living expenses is only to be done after you have received your AIP. So what is an AIP? AIP is an approval in principle. That means that your visa is already approved, right, subject to paying your tuition fees and your living expenses. So students have both the options. You can pay your fees prior, to submitting your visa application as well. But most of the students, because they have an option of paying it after their visa approval email also, so you have that option. So your funds are secured with you until unless you get your AIP, right? And then, once you are sure that you've got your visa from the immigration, then you can, pay your tuition fees. So I think it's unlike other countries wherein, you get your offer letter, you have to make an initial payment, to reserve a seat. So it's nothing like that. So your funds are secure with you until you get your visa guarantee. Then students coming into New Zealand, they're eligible for the post-study work permits as well. So, if you're coming to New Zealand, you're eligible for a post-study work permit in New Zealand. So if you're coming in, for any of the programs, there will be some stay-back option for you. So speaking about the post-study work permit, I've just taken out a bifurcation of, the post-study work permit rights that most of the students have. So this will give you a clear picture of if you're coming into what program and what is the duration of the post study work permit that you can expect after this, right? So if you look at for students who are coming into the degree program, so for students who are coming into a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a PhD program, so all of these students are eligible for the 3 years post study work permit in New Zealand. So this is after you have completed your program, right? So if your bachelor's is 3 years, you get an additional 3 years to stay back, explore the work opportunities there, explore the culture there, and then further, if you are looking at your settlement options, so then you can accordingly, look into that. Similarly, it goes with the master's courses as well. So some students might be thinking that, what if we are doing a 1 year master's? Are we still eligible for the 3 years post-study work permit? So the answer to the question is yes, that even if you're doing a 1 year master's program, and New Zealand is only one of the countries, I would say, wherein all students who are completing their 1 year master's programs also gets a 3 years of stay back after that. So 4 years in total is what you could expect, right? Even that's the same for the PhD courses, as I said, right? So again, but if you're coming in for a graduate diploma program, right? So then if your program is in the skill shortage list, only then you will be eligible for a 1 year post study work visa. Otherwise, there will be no post study work permit, for graduate diploma students. Or if the students are coming into a PG diploma, so then it will be a 1 year of post study work permit that you can expect after completing a 1 year of PG diploma courses, right? So I will just skip this video because I'm not sure whether you'll be able to hear the sound, but we can just play that later on, right? Yeah. So quickly moving on to, to the University of Waikato. I hope the information that I provided you for New Zealand that was, useful for you, but we can speak more about it, at a later stage. But moving on to the University of Waikato. So as I said, University of Waikato is a public university. It's a government university, a public research university, which is, a 60-year-old public university. So now, if you look at the map, so this is the New Zealand map, wherein you will see that there are two divided islands in the map. So this is the North Island and this is the South Island of New Zealand, right? So North Island, which is more commercial, you have more number of job opportunities there, and the major cities are the Golden Triangle, which is Auckland, Hamilton, Tauranga, which is there, and South Island, which has also more tourist attractions there. So if you look at the university, so the university is located in the North Island, which is Hamilton, and we do have an additional campus in Tauranga as well. So Hamilton is the oldest campus that we have, and Tauranga is comparatively a new campus that we have, but we have our programs running in both the campuses. So if you also look at the map, to you could see that Auckland is just like 1.5 hour drive from both of the cities that you have there. So now talking about the Waikato region. So, if you look at the Waikato region, which consists of like, Hamilton, Tauranga, cities like that. So it is one of the most fastest growing cities, in New Zealand, I would say, right? So again, if you look at Hamilton, so Hamilton, which comes in that region, is the fourth largest city of New Zealand, while Tauranga being the fifth largest city of New Zealand, right? And both, as I said, both are just like 1.5 hour drive to Auckland. So the connectivity is very good. So for students, even if they have some relatives there in Auckland and they want to stay and study in cities like Hamilton and Tauranga, so they're very easily connected to, the city of Auckland. But the best part of why most of the students, prefer to stay in cities like Hamilton or Tauranga. So first is, of course, that it's near to Auckland, but second is also that it's outside of Auckland, right? So because you're staying outside of Auckland, you save a lot of living expenses of yours. So which is like approximately 15 to 17% of your living expenses that you could save, if you're staying in cities like Hamilton and Tauranga. All right. Again, if we look at, the dairy production powerhouse of New Zealand. So New Zealand, agribusiness or agriculture, import, export, these are the major economies of New Zealand. So even the largest dairy firms of New Zealand, they're present there in the cities. Like, for example, Fonterra, which is the largest dairy firm of New Zealand, which is the sixth largest in the entire world, that is also present in Hamilton, which is just like a 7 minutes drive from the campus to supply the best cheese and butter. Then again, you have the second largest manufacturing hub of New Zealand there, right? And even, it's the main, populated area because the key population zone, 60% of New Zealand's population is within reach of Auckland, Tauranga, and Hamilton, which is also known to be the Golden Triangle, right? And all of these cities also contribute to the 50% of the GDP of the country as well. So, that makes you sure that, all these cities have a lot of work opportunities there, and as I said, it's very commercial if you're staying in cities like any of the cities in the North Island, right? Again, as I said, import, export, supply chain and all of that. So it's also the home to the Ruakura Inland Port, which is the largest inland port of New Zealand, right? So that is also located in Hamilton itself. So, before we move on, I just, have one point in my mind. So, Waikato region, what is this Waikato name? Or why, because a lot of people think that Waikato is a Japanese name or it's a Japanese university. So, where did we, get this name from? So, the University of Waikato is named on a river, right? So, it's a Maori name. Waikato is a river in New Zealand, right? So wherein, the university name is derived from that river. So moving on to the next slide, this will give you an aerial view of the campus that we have. So as I said, Hamilton is the oldest campus that we have, which was established back in the year 1964, right? And we have a huge campus. So this is the entire campus that we have, which is like a 64 acre spread across city campus. So it's not just one particular building, that we have, but it's a spread across 64 acres of campus. And if you also see these lakes, so these lakes are also inside the campus itself. So we have three lakes inside the campus, and these are different buildings or, different departments or the parking areas or the accommodation sections, that you have. So this will give you an aerial view of the Hamilton campus and for the Tauranga city as well. So this is the Tauranga campus that we have. It's very close to the beach, just like 500 meters or 600 meters from the beach. So that gives you an access, to the beautiful sceneries or to the beautiful landscapes as well. So this is comparatively a new, university building that we have. So, the structure and everything that you see here is, quite modern here. Again, I had one video, but I will just skip it for now. So moving on to, some of the points that, you can keep in mind about the University of Waikato. So we've already spoken about, when the university was established, but just to give you an idea on how many students do we have at the campus. So currently we do have 13,000 students on the campus, wherein close to about 3,000 to 4,000 are international students, as I said, from all parts of the world. So, and from 60 plus different nationalities on the campus. So even if you see the students on the campus or, the faculties or, the staff of the university, they're all from different parts of the world, be it from Germany, be it from France, be it from the UK, all parts of the world, be it Malaysia or Singapore, everywhere. Again, the university is ranked in the top three universities in New Zealand, right? And in the top 2% universities in the entire world, in the QS World Ranking 2025, right? Again, for research, New Zealand, in New Zealand, the University of Waikato has been ranked number one for the last few consecutive years. And again, our management school, which is the Waikato Management School, is a very, very popular school, which is again ranked as one of the top business schools in New Zealand, right? And in the top 1% universities in the entire world, specifically for the management courses that we offer, right? So the management school also has a triple crown accreditation from different bodies like Equus, AMBA, AACSB, and only less than 1% of the universities have that accreditation with them. Again, most of the programs that we have, so all PG or UG programs, they have internships, they have placement opportunities, and 15 subject or subject areas rank in the top 300 globally as well. Again, we do have a lot of scholarships and bursaries available for students, and specifically for students who have joined today. We can definitely speak about the scholarship and bursary options that we can provide you, right? But we will discuss that in the coming slides. Again, as I said, all the 1 year master's courses, since these are 180 credit point master's courses, so all of this will lead to the 3 years of post-study work permit, in the future. Again, we have a very strong alumni network wherein, even the former Prime Minister of New Zealand, who is Jacinda Ardern, is also an alumni of the University of Waikato, wherein she did her Bachelor's of Communication at the University of Waikato itself. So moving on to the faculties and schools, that we have. So I've taken out, various divisions, wherein we do offer a lot of programs and specializations for our students. And these programs are offered at all levels. So we do have, undergraduate, we do have, as I said, graduate diplomas, PG diplomas, we do have masters and PhD levels as well. Right. So, if you look at the faculties and the school of divisions that we have, so you will understand, what areas do we cover. And apart from medicine, as of now, or specifically architecture, I think we all have, we have all the programs and faculties, at the campus. So if you look at the School of Art, Psychology, Social Sciences, so again, under all of these areas also, we do have like sociology, public policy, or, geography, climate change, environmental sciences, legal studies, a lot of options that comes under the School of Art, Psychology, and Social Sciences. Again, if we look at the School of Computing and Mathematical Sciences, so again, courses into technology, or be it, information technology, cyber security, AI related programs, right, that comes under the School of Computing. School of Education, wherein we do have programs related to education and courses related to teaching as well. Engineering, again, we do have a lot of specializations under engineering, wherein we do have civil, mechanical, materials and processing, software engineering, or electrical, or for undergraduate, chemical, process engineering, a lot of specializations which is under the School of Engineering as well. The School of Health, wherein we do offer courses into health, biomedical sciences, or health promotion as such, or, now we have a new program, a very new program, which is a Masters of Pharmacy Practice as well. We do have nursing related programs as well. So all of these comes under the School of Health. The School of Sciences, again, you do have specializations wherein there are taught and research masters under the School of Sciences, be it in chemistry, be it in cellular, molecular biology, be it data analytics, so you do have a lot of programs at both the levels under the School of Sciences as well. Waikato Management School, as I said, which is one of the most, popular schools that we have. So all the management courses, be it business management, be it project management, business analytics, digital business, right? So all of these programs comes under the Waikato Management School that we have. The Faculty of Law, wherein we do have a Masters of Law program. We do have a Masters of Legal Studies as well under the Faculty of Law. The University of Waikato College. So for students who are not able to meet the direct entry requirements for the university, so they come and study at the University of Waikato College as a foundation course, right? Or they can do a diploma program, right? And then further they can get into the university. But for the Waikato College, the best part is that, the campus for the Waikato College is inside the university campus only. So you do not have to go anywhere outside to, do your complete your diploma or your foundation studies, right? And also it indicates that even, by any chance, if you're not able to meet the direct entry requirements, you still have an opportunity to come there, study with us, because we will give you that foundational knowledge to get into our, degree programs in the future. Then the School of Graduate Research, so wherein all our PhD programs or doctorate programs are a part of the School of the Graduate Research. So, however, we do have a lot of, undergraduate and postgraduate programs at the university, but I've just taken out a list of the popular programs that we have. And as I said, most of the programs have their own specializations as a part of it, right? So if you look at Bachelor's of Business or a Bachelor's of Science or Engineering, all of them would have their own specializations. And the best part, or, to just to break down, this to you in, few parts. So if you look at all the undergraduate programs that we have, they're all like 3-year bachelor's programs that we have, apart from engineering and apart from a bachelor's of law program, which is going to be almost a 4-year degree program. However, all the other programs, they're all 3 years, and fresh students who have just completed their class 12, they can definitely come and apply for any of these courses, right? The best part of the programs is that most of the courses we do not require a specific background in your class 12. So until unless you're coming in for a technical program or something which has technology involved in it, like be it a computer sciences program or an engineering program, right, or maybe something into applied computing or data analytics. So again, apart from this, any programs that you're coming in, right? So we do not require maths as a compulsory subject in your class 12th or any specific background in your class 12th to be eligible. So even for the bachelor's of business, I've seen that in some of the other, universities or countries, that even for a bachelor's of business, maths is a mandatory requirement. So that is not there for us. So even if you have done your studies from your, from a humanities background, that's completely fine. You can come into a bachelor's of business in accounting, finance. You can come into any of the other programs, be it a bachelor's of teaching, which is very, very popular, or a bachelor's of law, or a bachelor's of climate change, which is very, very popular, right? Also, courses, as I said, teaching and law, there are programs which gives you a direct registration to work as, a teacher in New Zealand, or get your registration from the Bar Council of New Zealand as well. Right. Again, these courses are very, very practical, and all of the bachelor's courses have internships towards their last semester. So students are placed in those internship setups. You have industry projects as a part of the courses that you do. So that gives you more practical understanding of, how, or what you can expect from the, work experience that you will be getting after you've completed a program. Again, you also have an option of choosing your majors and your minors from any other department as well. So for example, if you have chosen a bachelor's of business in accounting, but if you think that you want to choose a minor from any other department or any other subject, you have that possibility of doing that as well, right? Or even if you think if you want to have two majors, you can do that as well if the workload is not too much on you. So you can also do a bachelor's of business in supposedly accounting and finance both, right? So you have those options with you. The major intakes for the bachelor's courses, again, it's February and July, right? And we do have an additional intake, which is November. So out of the undergraduate programs, there's only a bachelor's of business that we have in the November intake, but all other programs are again going to be in the February and July intake, right? The approximate tuition fees, just to give you an idea of the undergraduate programs, is close to like 40,000 New Zealand dollars, right? Depending on, what is the duration of the program that you're coming in or which program that you're coming in, but it's somewhere approximately 40,000 New Zealand dollars that you have. Now, looking at the requirements for our undergraduate program, so, most students, if you're coming in from a CBSE or an ICSE background from India, right, so we look at least 75% in your best four subjects to be eligible, for an entry into our bachelor's program, right, including the state boards like Maharashtra, Karnataka, and West Bengal. But if you're coming in outside from these state boards, right, from any other Punjab, Haryana, or anywhere else, right? So then we would be looking at an 80%, in your best four subjects to be eligible for a bachelor's program. Again, students coming in from an IB diploma, so a minimum of 24 points is required to be eligible for an application, right? But anything above 28 points gives you more, possibility of getting an admission in the university. Again, if you've done Cambridge A level, so a minimum of 6 points, with a minimum of a grade C in at least one subject would be required if you're doing your A levels, which is Cambridge A levels, to be eligible for our bachelor's programs. Now, moving on to our master's courses, because masters, we're always very excited to speak about the master's courses because they're very much in demand. They're very, very popular courses, and specifically at University of Waikato, we see a lot of students, coming into the master's programs, right? And why is that? I've already given you the reasons because the students are able to complete your master's courses in 1 to 1.5 years of age range. So that is why a lot of students prefer to come into the master's programs. So again, here, as I said, we do have a lot of programs in the masters as well, but again, these are just the quite few the popular ones that we have. So if you see the Masters of Business and Management, the Masters of Business or Professional Accounting, or Masters of Management and Project Management, Business Analytics, Agribusiness, Marketing, or Digital Business, right? So these all comes under the Waikato Management School, and all of them are one year master's courses, right? Apart from the Masters of Business, which is like approximately a 1.5 year of program, because you also have a research component in the last 6 months. So that is also helpful for students in case you want to get into research careers in the future, or you would want to get into PhD in the future. But for example, if you're looking at a Masters of Business and Management, so if you're looking at senior level roles in the future, right? So these programs will help you, or a project management, or something into business analytics or marketing, right? Because you have specializations as well. So and if you're looking at working at managerial level positions, or maybe working in an MNC, so these all programs have been very well benefited the current students or the alumni of the of the university as well, right? Again, if you look at for engineering as well, we do have engineering practice, which is a very, very practical program, I would say, because it also involves industry projects that you do with the real-time industry partners, or a Masters of Engineering program also, which is an option for students who are looking at doing a complete research program, right? And as I said, we do have specializations in all areas, be it civil, mechanical, electronics, etc. So, according to your interest and your previous profile, you can choose your specializations. Again, if you look at the School of Computing, as we've, discussed, so we do have courses wherein we do have a Masters of Information Technology, we do have Masters of Cybersecurity, or we do have courses like a Masters of Artificial Intelligence as well. The best part is that, even for the Masters of Information Technology, or as I speak about Masters of Business and Management, Professional Accounting, or the Masters of Management courses, right? These are again all conversion masters programs, right? So again, students from all backgrounds can apply for it. So conversion masters means that even if you're coming in from a different background, but if you think that you want to apply for any of these courses, you're still eligible to do that. So again, the Masters of Information Technology, again, it's a conversion master's program. However, for students who already have completed a bachelor's and master's program in IT, they can also come into it. Students who have just completed their bachelor's of computer sciences or relevant field, they can also come. But students from no background, they haven't studied IT at all, or computer sciences at all, they also have an option of coming into the information technology program, right? Or again, you have options for students who have strong backgrounds in cybersecurity and AI coming into these programs. Along with that, we also have a very popular program, which is a Masters of Technology Innovation in Business. So technology innovation in business, sometimes students think that they've already had the technology knowledge. They also want to have a business knowledge now, but they also want to be aligned to their industry, right? So again, technology innovation in business will help you to understand about the technology papers as well, and business papers as well. So at the same time, you're studying both of the areas, you're still aligned to your technology industry and getting managerial level skills as well, or management skills as well, right? Apart from this, the Masters of Arts or Masters of Sciences programs that we have. So under this also, we do have a lot of specializations, be it sociology, be it public policy, under Masters of Sciences like cellular, molecular biology, chemistry. So, but again, yes, we do require students, coming in from the same background to apply for these courses. So there should be, a relevancy of whatever subjects we are choosing, be it psychology or, anything. You should have studied that as a major in your previous studies. Right. Again, the Masters of Nursing Practice. So you will be amazed to know that even the Masters of Nursing Practice program that we have is a conversion master's program. So no background in, just like medical students can only apply for it, or, nursing students can only apply for it. Even if you're coming in from any sciences background or any other background, also you can apply for this particular program. But it's a very, very competitive program, very limited seats. And, this month, the end of this month is the last date to apply for the February 2026 intake, right? So if you're interested for the nursing practice program, you can just start applying right now. Again, as I said, the pharmacy practice program. So it's a very new program that we have launched looking at the demand of, pharmacists in New Zealand. And to fulfill that demand, we've created this very beautiful program, which is a Masters of Pharmacy Practice, and that will lead you to a pathway to become a registered pharmacist in New Zealand as well, right? So we do have a February intake for this particular program as well. Again, very competitive program. So we recommend students applying as soon as possible for this one. Then, if we talk about the Masters of Education or a Masters of Teaching program, so the difference between these two programs is that if you're looking at a career, if you want to become a teacher, a registered teacher in New Zealand, right, be it at early childhood level or a primary level or a secondary level, so then you will have to come into a Masters of Teaching program, right? But if you think that, you're also okay in, working at administrative roles, or maybe working as a vice principal, maybe working at, with any of the government institutions to, design the curriculum for these students, right? So then Masters of Education is the program that you can come into, right? For Masters of Education, yes, B.Ed is required. So students require a Bachelor's of Education to come into this program. But again, for Masters of Teaching and Learning, it's a complete conversion master's program. So even if you've done BA, you do not have any working experience in teaching also, that's completely fine, right? You can come and apply for a teaching program, and we've just been bombarded with applications for teaching. So these are very, very popular programs that we have at the university, and we get a lot of students coming into these programs. Again, the Masters of Law program. So again, the Masters of Law is for students who have already completed their Bachelor's of Law program here in India, right? And they have the Bar Council registration, right? However, this particular program will not lead to a registration to the Bar Council of New Zealand, right? So for that, you will have extra steps to be done after you've completed the program. But yes, the Bachelor's of Law will give you a direct registration, to work as a lawyer in New Zealand. But with this program, you can work with the solicitors, with the barristers, right? Or, other areas as well in jurisdiction. But again, not exactly as an advocate or a lawyer, right? Then in this only, you have a Masters of Legal Studies program, which is again a conversion master's program, right? So legal studies, I have seen a lot of businessmen or, people, who want to become entrepreneurs, right? So if you think that you want to work at a director level, maybe, or as a CEO, maybe in the future. So according to me, I think a lot of people would also want to have an understanding of how the legalities of the organization would work, and they need to have that own knowledge with themselves, right? So again, if you have any preferences of that, so you can come into a legal, studies program as well. And as I said, it's a conversion master, so any student from any background can come into it. So this is, as I said, these are just very popular programs that I've taken out, but there are a lot of other programs that you can look into, like Masters of Disability, Inclusion Studies, teaching English to speakers of other language, or maybe courses like into environmental planning or environmental sciences, ecology, biodiversity. So there are a lot of other programs as well. The key takeaways would be that most of these are 1 to 1.5 year master's courses, apart from courses like an applied psychology or a nursing practice or a pharmacy practice, which will be 2 years of master's courses. And as I said, no work experience is required for any of our master's courses. No GREs, GMATs, no additional tests are required for any of our master's courses, right? Apart from, few wherein, the requirements could be a little higher, which gives you a registration in the future. Apart from that, there are no GREs, GMATs. You can just complete your bachelor's and start applying for your master's courses.
Shinam,
Again, yeah,
sorry to interrupt. I guess we are getting quite a few questions as well. So I think
sure,
we can have this Q&A, and then you probably, we can complete the other sections as well.
sure,
And I
sure,
have also sorted out the video section for you, so we can have a videos later on. I'll give you an access, and we can have those videos for all the participants.
sure,
So,
sure.
would you like to complete this over and then we can start the Q&A, or how you want to proceed?
Yeah, we
Yeah, let
can
us.
do that. Yeah, yeah, whatever you say.
All
Yes,
right, so
I'm okay
we are
with it.
getting questions and they're quite relevant. And I would request Pavan as well as Shinam, you to both answer those. So I will ask both of you to, answer these questions. So first question has come from Giridharan Subramanian. He is asking that I'm working in a bank in India. I want to pursue masters in ECE teaching. And do I require prior experience of teaching for admissions to the masters? I think Shinam, you rightly said that, and if you could again, give your insights on this.
Yeah. So as I said, a Masters of Teaching and Learning program is a conversion master's program. So even if you haven't done your B.Ed in your bachelor's, you've just done a BA or a BCom or a BBA, anything, right? You can come into our Masters of Teaching and Learning program, right? And we do not require any work experience. However, there are additional steps because there will be an interview taken by the faculty to assess, your communication skills, to assess why you want to come into a teaching program now since you've been working into the banking industry. So you need to have your own answers to it, and they will just check whether you are the right fit or the right candidate. And you can just be a good person or a good teacher in New Zealand. So I think if you're sorted with that, and also it has a numeracy and literacy test. So if you clear those interviews and those literacy numeracy test, I don't think so there should be any challenge. But as rightly said, it's a conversion master's program, and experience is not mandatory for the Masters of Teaching program.
Right. So, Pavan, just add on to this question. What are the pathways we have for after doing these kind of programs in teaching?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the master's program leads to 3 years of open work visa, which means the candidate will be having enough time to secure a job as a qualified teacher. And since this program leads to teacher registration, so after attaining the qualification and registration, the applicant can look for a suitable job. And depending upon the kind of job they get, whether it's a primary teacher or secondary teacher, because they both fall under the straight to residence category, so they should be eligible to apply for their residency.
Right. So for all participants seeking for doing, teaching program, it's a very good opportunity for all of you to get the course also, as well as after that,
Yeah, so
if the
there
part.
are basically four branches to master of teaching. One is pre-primary, which is EC teaching. Then we have got primary, and then we have got intermediate, and then we have got secondary. So all of them fall under the green
Yes.
list. But out of these four, only primary and secondary are the one that fall under the straight to residence category.
Right. Thank you, Paman, for your answer. Yeah, so this one is both of you. For both of you, the client is asking about, are you the only official partner of the university in this South Asian region? Do you have partners in Bangladesh? So, Shinam, you can start with your, because you are from University of Waikato, so you can, answer this.
Yeah, so I see. So you see, the university would definitely have, few of the partners, but yes, of course, University of Waikato only work with our premium clients as well, and Kiwiana Immigration is one of them. We've got very good students from Kiwiana Immigration, and the purpose of doing this session is also to have more, visibility and more, about understanding about, how Kiwiana Immigration can help you further. And I think the students who have already come through Kiwiana, they have very well settled in the country, they're very well happy in the country. So these are our official partners. However, they are not the only partners that we have. We have other partners as well. Yeah, but these are, Kiwiana is one of the official partners that we have in the market.
Yeah.
Right. Pawan,
And
if you
just to
could,
add
yes,
on, I mean, because the applicant who has asked this question, they are from Bangladesh.
yes,
Just to add on, we have dealt with the applicants from Bangladesh as well. And since everything is digital these days, and
yes.
our credentials can be verified online as well, so you will be able to trust whatever we are advising on. So I think that should not be a problem.
Right. This was the anonymous attendee, and they must have got an answer. So now next goes to a question from Sarang Sule. If the admission is in July intake, do students have to make significant adjustment to align the semester schedule as compared to February intake? Shinam, over to you. This question.
So not really. See the February and July intake, the courses, because these are both major, intakes that we have. Right. So there are no serious implications for students who are coming into July. Maybe they're studying less or they're studying more. There's nothing like that. It's just that sometimes, the course duration of few of the programs in July increases because there's an extended holiday period for students coming into the July intake, but otherwise both are the popular intakes, both are the major intakes, so there is no such differentiation in coming in any of the intakes that we have.
Thanks, Shinam, and thanks, Sarang. If you have any questions after this, you can always get in touch with our team, and we will be sending an email as well as the webinar video recording, so that you could have you can see the videos, and you can later on get in touch with our team. So another anonymous attendee is asking how much bank balance need to be shown for visa application. Pawan, this is over to you.
So the bank balances basically depends upon the cost of the tuition fees and also the duration of the course, because depending upon the tuition fees and the length of the program, we have to evaluate how much funding is required. So I mean, whosoever is asking this question, you can always get in touch with us after this webinar,
Right.
and after doing the fact finding, we will be able to give you the definite answer about it.
Right. Another anonymous attendee is asking, what is the job future in Masters of Nursing practice? Either Shinam or Pavan.
I think Sheeran, you
Right.
can answer this better.
Yeah, yeah. So see, courses like a Masters of a Nursing Practice that definitely gives a pathway to registration as a nurse in New Zealand. So there are only very few programs that leads you to a direct registration. So like courses like teaching, nursing, social work, they're very, very popular in the country. And even with the Masters of Nursing Practice, you have, wherein students are placed in clinical setups as well, right? So they get all the practical understanding and all the practical knowledge. And then further, after they've completed their tests and everything, they get a pathway to become a registered nurse in New Zealand.
Right. Hidala Arachinge Lakmal Tiran. This is the name of the participant, and he or she asking about. I have just completed my bachelor engineering in mechanical engineering with first class pass conducted by DE Montfort University, UK. But the program duration is 12 months, and I have also 20 years of experience in oil and gas industry. So my question is, do I eligible to do 1 year masters of mechanical engineering? Shinam?
Right. So, see, we do have master's programs wherein the Masters of Engineering practice program that we have. So, we do have a mechanical and a materials and processing specialization as well for students who have done, mechanical engineering in the past. So, the program duration is, however, 1.5 years. But for students who have got a good background in their bachelor's, they've got a good percentage in their bachelor's, or maybe extensive work experience, as they said that they have 20 years of work experience, right? So you can definitely put that in your CV and your application, and the team can then look into that, profile, and they can try and offer you a 1 year Masters of Engineering practice program as well. So we have seen students getting the 1 year Masters of Engineering practice, but yes, subject to, having a good background in bachelor's, having a good percentage, or maybe, extensive work experience to support with. So there is a possibility of getting the 1 year Masters of Engineering practice.
So, Hirala, you can please get in touch with us for further information. We will definitely help you out. Next question is from Prishit Mankar. Which is the next possible intake? I have Duolingo score of 125. Can we apply on Duolingo basis, or do we need IELTS or PTE? Shri-
Right. So it's a good question. I was about to talk about this question as well in the next slides. But yes, if it has come up. So yes, so we look at IELTS or a PT score. So wherein for master's courses, the IELTS score which is required is 6.5, no band less than 6 for most of the courses. But yes, for courses like teaching or pharmacy or nursing, the IELTS requirement is going to be a little high, which is like 7 overall with no band less than 7 in any module, right? But the best part for the PT requirements is that, most of the other universities have 58 overall, no less than 50, 52 for most of the courses. For University of Waikato, for most of the courses, as I said, apart from teaching, etc., so the requirement is 56, no less than 46 for our master's courses, right? And we do accept Duolingo with an overall of 120 scores, right? So even if you have done Duolingo, that's completely fine. But yes, Duolingo will not work for courses like teaching, nursing, or pharmacy. But if it is from for any other division or department, we can accept that.
So, Prishit, you can get in touch again with our team. We will help you out for getting out the right courses, and then for your further processing and all that. Thank you, Prishit. Anonymous attendee, if a woman want to start career in teaching, in especially in the kindergarten, kids school, what should be the subjects then she or he has to take? So that was the question from anonymous attendee.
So we do have courses wherein we do have early childhood, primary and secondary. So how do we bifurcate that? So usually, the early childhood is usually 0 to 5 years of age. 6 to 11 is primary, and then 11, 12 onwards is secondary, right? So according to your interest, or if you're looking at dealing with small children, right, or infants, maybe if I would say, so then early childhood is what you can look at.
Right. Ishwarji is asking about what about financial requirement for MSc? So I think Shinam, you could tell us about the MSc, and then Pavan, you could tell us the funds requirement.
Yeah, so see, if I speak about, for most of the master's courses, the tuition fees ranges between $56,000 to about like $70,000, depending on which program the student is coming in, what is the duration of the program. Sometimes, the research programs or technical programs have a higher fees as compared to courses like management, wherein it's close to, as I said, $56,000. But like engineering or masters of science, sometimes it could be a little higher, but we do have scholarships to support that, right? I have a slide for scholarships as well that I can speak about, right? But we do have scholarships for students coming in for our courses, be it at undergraduate or postgraduate level, and if they get those scholarships, that the amount will be deducted from the tuition fees. For financial requirements, however, Pavan will be able to answer, but
Yeah.
just to give you an idea of how it looks like. So you need to have your tuition fees and your living expenses to be shown in your visa application, which is sufficient for, the entire duration of the program that you're coming in for your, for getting your visa approved.
Yeah, just to add on what Sheenam said. So for the living, it's if it's a 1 year program, so you have to show $20,000 for living and maintenance and $2,000 for the outward travel. So altogether, 22,000 New Zealand dollars.
Right. Tripti has quite a few questions, and they're quite interesting one. She's saying that please advise graduation percentage for admission in master's program and what are the documents required. Just to add on, please advise the green list qualification and the master. She probably wanted to do a master's course, a green list qualification, and then she need a guidance as well. So see, Sheenam and Pavan.
Right. So if I just speak about the requirements that we have for our master's courses, so a B or a B plus average is usually required. So which is like close to 60 to 65% that most of the students can keep in mind. So looking at the section of the university, we have that bifurcations. But if you have 60 to 65% in your bachelor's, that is good enough for you to go ahead with an application for the university.
All right. And Another client, Adarsh, has a question. What are the courses in 1 year master's program? Shinam?
So, as I've spoken about, most of the master's courses are 1 year master's courses. Like if you see the masters, under the Waikato Management School, these are all 1 year master's courses, be it MBM or be it project management, masters of management, digital business, applied finance, professional accounting, masters of teaching, in fact, right? So all of these are 1 year master's courses only. So most of the maximum master's courses that we have, these are 1 to 1.5 year masters. Only courses like, as I said, applied psychology, nursing, pharmacy, only these are courses which are 2 year masters. Otherwise, maximum of the courses are 1 year masters courses or 1.5 years.
Pawan, this question is for you. Ishwar ji is asking about any official partner that works for Kiwiana Immigration from Nepal. So you can answer that, Pawan.
So we do not have any associated partners in Nepal, but we do deal with clients directly who are based
Yeah.
in Nepal. So I think you will be fine if you want to work with us, online as well. So that should not be a problem.
Yeah. So Giridharan Subramanian again has a question. Does the university provide accommodation options? What is the cost of such in-house accommodation if the university is providing it, Shinam?
Yes, so I have that in the next slides. Do you want me to cover that when I have that slide, or do you want me to answer it right now?
I think you can answer. Then we can complete the Q&A and then we can start with the rest of the slides
Sure.
with the videos.
I will
Yeah.
just open that slide. So this is for accommodations, right? So if you look at, we do have options for the catered halls, which is the fully catered halls and the self-catered halls as well, right? So for the fully catered, all your meals or your breakfast, lunches, dinners could be provided as a part of your, accommodation, right? Or, you can have a self-catered hall wherein you can have a living area and a kitchen access, and you can cook for your own self, right? So accommodations are a part of the campus, but they get filled in very, very quickly, very fast, right? So you need to apply for accommodations on the campus very quickly, right? For whatever intake you are coming in, right? And seats are like first come, first serve basis, right? It starts from $250 to $300 per week, but could range up to $450 depending on what facilities the students are choosing. But again, these are the accommodations which are there on the campus. But yes, if the students, if they're mature applicants, even if they think they want to stay outside of the campus, right? So there are a lot of homestay options. There are, sharing apartments or staying with a New Zealand family, right? Or sharing with their friends as well. So these are also options which are very near to the university that the students can choose.
Just to add on, Shinam, Giridharan Subramaniam also asking about what is teaching practice requirement in the EC Masters program. Does the university help with the identification of the study centers for that?
Yes, yes. So students who are coming into the teaching programs, they're placed in the school setups so that they have the practical experience with working with the schools or infants or with small children, right? And the requirements for teaching programs is wherein, we would require an IELTS score of 7 overall with no band less than 7 in any module, right? As I said, there will be interview as a part of the assessment, right? So there will be a group discussion round, which will be on a Zoom call, right? So the faculty will assess, and they might ask you questions to why you want to become a teacher, if there's any special or any incident that you would want to share with them that makes you believe that you could be a good teacher in the future, right? For some of the courses, there is a learning test as well, so which is the literacy and numeracy test as well, right? And your PCC, which is the Indian PCC, or from whichever country you are coming in from, that PCC would be required, right? And which is a police verification form for New Zealand, that we will do the verification decision on the student's behalf, right? And two LORs would be required, right? So which is we just require a letter like referee's details, right? Just the email IDs, and we will send them a form and they can just fill it out and send it back to us. So that is there, and one SOP would be required, which is the statement of purpose.
So, Giridharan, you can get in touch with our team as soon as possible and discuss your options. Our team would happy to help you out. Next is anonymous attendee again. If I am a graduate in English, BA and MA, do I need IELTS or PT? I think it's easy for you, Shinam.
Yeah, so see, English language requirements are definitely there, wherein IELTS, PT, or Duolingo, or TOEFL, anything could be done, right? So, yes, but we do, give English language waivers as well, but that is not a guaranteed thing, or I cannot guarantee you that. It's just completely on the basis of if you're coming in from a Section 1 university, you've completed your education in English, right? And you've completed your last education in the last 2 years of, your course start date. So for example, if somebody is coming into a February 2026 intake and they've completed their studies anytime after February 2024, so there is a possibility if you submit your medium of instruction letter to us, so we can look at, cases wherein we can give an English language waiver as well, but that's completely subject to or discretion of the admissions team. So they have their own checks, they do that, right? And if they're okay with giving you an English waiver, so then you do not have to appear for any English language examination.
Right. Iron Sultana Asha has a question, and she's saying that I passed my graduation in business administration department. Can I join the Masters of Nursing?
Yes, as I said, Masters of Nursing is a conversion master's program. So you can come into a master, like you can apply, but as I said, this month is the deadline for the nursing courses. So you need to apply well in time, but the results will be declared sometime in October, right? But then again, even if the university is giving you that, leverage of coming into a nursing practice program, but you need to have your own reasons to why you would want to choose a nursing program, because we also have to look at your visa application, right? So you need to have your answers to why do you think that you would want to come into a nursing program after you've completed something in your management. But yes, for the university, you're completely okay to apply for a nursing program. It's a conversion masters and anybody from any background can apply for it.
So just to add on, Aaron, we have a team based in Delhi, and we are all our counselors are available 24/7. So we will be sharing you our numbers and all our means of communication. You can always contact us and discuss your case with us, and our team will happy to discuss for all your queries. Dilip Maniraj is asking, I'm looking for joining in an aquaculture and fisheries related doctoral of master's degree. I have completed my master's in fisheries science and aquaculture from Kerala University of Fisheries and Ocean Studies. Are there any courses related to my specialization in University of Waikato, Shinam?
So see, Navdeep, for this, because the student needs to get in touch with the supervisors only, because we as such
Yeah.
will be not able to, help the students. So, there are profiles of the supervisors there on the website. Students can just directly look into it and see to, if they have something in relevance to it, they can just reach out to the supervisors directly, and, they can further let them know if they're okay with the research proposal and they're okay to supervising them. So the profiles are there on the website. The student needs to get in touch with those profiles.
All right. Anonymous attendee again, do we need to pay one semester fee or a complete year fee?
So, as I covered in my first slide, the best part for New Zealand is that you do not have to pay any initial deposit, right? So, there is no initial deposit that you need to pay to the university. Only once your AIP, which is the approval in principle, once that's approved, so that's your visa letter, right? Subject to paying your tuition fees. But yes, once you've received your AIP, your minimum 1 year fees, like if it's a 1 year program, you need to pay the entire 1 year fee. If it's a 1.5 or a 2 year program, again, you can just initially pay the 1 year fees and pay the remaining later. But yes, there is no semester wise, fee payment that, New Zealand immigration looks into. So it's a 1 year standard fee that you need to pay.
Right. Another question from Aaron Sultana Asha. I recently passed my IELTS exam. Its overall bands are 6.5, but one module I achieved 5. Please provide some advice here.
So the only thing I can suggest is first see, if you've passed in your education in the last 2 years and if you have an MOI letter, so we will first try if the university can waive off your English language tests. If not, if it is done long back, then the second option is if you think that, IELTS is not your cup of tea, maybe as I said, because Duolingo, sometimes students think that Duolingo is much more easier than IELTS. So you can again apply for Duolingo. You get your results on the very same day, or you can do PTE as well because PT requirements also, as I said, is lesser to any other university. Or if you have done a computer delivered IELTS test, I think you can take that one skill retake as well. So, if that is possible, you can do that and you can send those results also to us. So we can take that into consideration.
Right. The next question, I think we are getting many questions now. Obviously, the participants are in serious, consideration about the university. So, yeah. So, what will be the total tuition fees along with the living cost if I opt for masters in cybersecurity?
Okay. So see, for technical courses, as I said, for IT or cybersecurity courses like that, so the tuition fees is about like 70,000 New Zealand dollars, right? But we do have scholarship opportunities. So as we are again and again speaking about scholarships, so I'll just move on to this slide also, right? So we do have scholarship opportunities for our postgraduate students, which is up to $10,000, right? So, but that's completely academic based. So, in case you've got a good percentage in your previous studies in your bachelor's, like if you're coming in for a master's program, so then up to $10,000 is what you can expect. It could be 8,000 or entire 10,000, and that could be deducted from the tuition fees. And as Pawan said earlier, that the living expenses for the for New Zealand is somewhere around 20,000 New Zealand dollars, which is approximately 10 lakhs in Indian currency, plus the outward travel, which is your flight tickets and everything that you show, which is an additional of 2,000 New Zealand dollars.
Right. Afsana Afrin is asking about after applying for a graduate diploma in teaching, how many days does Waikato University take for an initial numerical and literacy assessment?
So the numeracy and literacy test is a part of the application process. So before even getting your formal offer letter, you need to complete that numeracy and literacy test to get an admission in the university. So for teaching courses, the process involves that first you apply for the teaching program. You will get a conditional offer letter from us, wherein these conditions will be mentioned: your IELTS score, your references, your numeracy literacy test, your interview, and everything. Once you clear that, only then you get the formal offer letter, and then only you can start to study with us once you've got your visa. So the numeracy literacy test is not a part of your, once you've completed your program or once you're in your program, it's a part of the assessment to get into the program.
Mm-hmm. Right. Um, Anonymous attendee, he or she is asking that I have a master's degree in energy and environmental engineering and a bachelor degree in electrical and electronics engineering. However, I lack professional experience in the field of engineering. Suppose I finish my double master's degree there. Is it possible for me to obtain employment in the key engineering field? How is the engineering field overall in New Zealand? Second, master market preference or previous work experience, as the participant have experienced that people are generally preferred over freshers over many countries. So, Shinam, how about the engineering market and the courses we are offering at Waikato, and
That's right.
any experience from the student in the past, if you could share here?
Right. So see, as I said, for any of our courses, we do not require any work experience. So even if the student does not have any work experience, in their home country, that's completely fine because this is what we prepare the students once they're coming in for our program. So for our programs, the Masters of Engineering practice that we do have mechanical, we do have civil, we do have materials processing, and we do have electronics as a specialization. However, However, we have a different program also, which is a Masters of Engineering, wherein there are other specializations, but that's a complete research master's program, right? So that's only for students who would want to get into research careers or PhD in the future, who are looking for, a thought-based master's program, which has more, industry projects, because in these engineering programs as well, we do have like 400, 800 hour of industry project that the student does with the real-time industry partners. So that gives them that practical experience and knowledge to get into the right type of an industry after they've done that program, right? So even if you lack work experience here, that is not, a problem. That is not an issue, because none of our programs requires work experience. And the only reason behind it is that industry is there in New Zealand also. And even for engineering, if you would see, there's a shortage of engineers, like about like 66% of engineers in the country. So engineers are always required in New Zealand. Yes, of course, it would require your skills, your hard work as well, but this is what the university will support you and help you with. And this, also, would want to let you know, all the people who are there. So, if you see, for the university also, we do have a very I will just put on that slide as well. So if you look at these industries, so these are the industry connects that we have at the campus, right? So all of the courses that we have developed, these are after taking feedback from the industry partners to what we actually look for while hiring their employees, right? Again, most of the industry partners, they're invited during, the career fairs, the career expos that we hold, right? And these expos, wherein, when the different industry partners come, students have full access to speak to those industry partners, see what are the opportunities that are there, see what they actually require in a person while they're hiring a person, right? And again, these expos, so this is a glimpse of the expos that we have, right? So this also, gives you an access to the New Zealand Uni Talent Job Board, right? So this particular job board, so there's an application to it. That application is specifically for students who are university students, right? So then you get that access to a variety of exclusive job opportunities, and employers, which is only given to the university students, right? So you get that once you have enrolled in the university. And all of these career expos, so the twice in a year we hold these career expos, right? Or the workshops that we hold. So that gives you all those industry insights, that information about, interviews, your internship opportunities, how you can explore your career or build confidence. And even the student support centers that we have, or the careers team that we have, right? You can definitely get in touch with them, so they can review your CV, they can help you with your interview practices, tell you the organizations that are looking at your profiles. And even if you want to do your research, you can look at websites like seek.com, indeed.com. You can just put in your the occupation that you're looking at, right? And they can just definitely tell you about what companies are looking at for those occupations, and what is the average salary that you can expect. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's again there.
So just to add on this, that we have also created an app called Kiwiana Immigration app. You can check it from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. So now this app has a feature called Job Finder, which has all the major job websites right from the student. If you're a student, there's a dedicated website which help you out to get the jobs. Like the studentjobs.com, and there are others as well. So we have mentioned, and there are links for all these websites where you can submit your resume, and we think that your chances of getting a job is 50 to 60% higher when and then there are also tips and tricks to get there are, for example, there are a lot of places, community centers, where you can network yourself, and you can share your resumes. And there are notice boards where you can, so there are all information are provided in that that app. And plus we also have a local Kiwiana network. If there is any employer who are looking for a job, if there is any person who's seeking a job, he can also check those sections in Kiwiana network, and they can apply, if there is any job offering on in that area. So yes, Kiwiana, you can also rely on that app, which recently we have come out with. Right. So, next question is from Pushpa Raj Shrestha, asking about what are the PT language requirement for masters in cybersecurity or information technology.
It is 56, no less than 46.
All right. And next is from Firdausi Rahman. I have completed BBA and MBA in accounting, but I have still 13 years teaching experience on government primary school. May I apply for AMED course? For AMED course, I 6.5, not 6, band 6, 6 less than 6 is expected, is it?
Yeah, so see, for Masters of Education program, we do require 6.5, no band less than 6, or even PT is acceptable for the Masters of, Education program, but a B.Ed is compulsory. So we require students coming into a Masters of Education program to have a B.Ed qualification. But here, if the candidate says that they have a teaching experience over the last 10, 13 years, so I think it's recommended for them to come into a teaching program, because otherwise, there could be a challenge wherein it could be quite difficult for the student to, explain to the visa officer that why, after having or holding such a strong teaching experience, they're coming into an education program. So, but otherwise, like if you have your own reasons and if you think that you have a proper justification to why now from teaching you would want to switch in a Masters of Education program, you can definitely come into the program. And but yes, you need to have a B.Ed qualification with you. And yes, as I said, it will not lead to teaching careers. You can work into administrative roles. You can work into HR or policy, or, as a vice principal, or maybe, working with the government bodies wherein you can design curriculum for the students, but you cannot teach students. So, yeah.
Right. One of the anonymous attendees asking that my PT score is 62 overall, but speaking is 53. Is it okay for masters? Or just to add on for this question, can someone give additional program with just one skill set, and then is it acceptable in the university? For example, she has scored, maybe she might have scored in LSRW. Only the S speaking section is a little less. So can she take later on, and then can the university accept the first three one and the last, the speaking one in the last one? Is it possible?
Yeah, we can do that. But if the student is already meeting the requirement, I'm not sure which program the student is looking at. But as I said, for most of our master's courses, the PT requirement is 56, no less than 46. So which means 56 is the overall requirement and no less than 46 in any module. So if student has already
Hmm.
53 in one of these, modules, they already meet the requirement. So they do not
Requirements.
have to go again for a test. Yeah.
Yeah. So whomsoever is this attendee, we would request you to please get in touch with us and ask for the University of Waikato courses so that we could help you out in this. Ajay Singh Rathore is saying that I have completed BA in distance learning mode. Am I eligible for masters in nursing program?
See, yes, we do accept distance qualifications, right? So correspondence studies or distance education is completely fine. But again, nursing is a conversion master's program. But as I said, it's a very competitive program. You have very, very limited seats in this particular program. So you can try for your chances for, nursing. But again, I would also suggest you to keep a backup option of any other master's program as well. So
Mm.
even if you do not want to come into a Masters of Arts, but then again, you can come into courses like business and management, or, something into a Masters of Management as well. So I think that will also be relevant to your profile. That will, also help you to get into the courses much easier as compared to the Masters of Nursing Practice program.
And what is the IELTS requirement for this program, Shinam?
For which
Nursing.
program? For
Nursing.
again, 7 overall, no less than 7.
All right. Now, Okay, so Tripti is asking B.Ed percentage required for M.Ed program in Waikato University. Please advise.
Yeah, so for all our courses, for all our master's courses, as I said, 60 to 65 is what you can keep in mind. So if you are, above 60%, so you can go ahead and apply for an application for the master's courses.
So Tripti, please get in touch with us. Our team will gonna advise you the right course. Last question: if I can join Feb to 2027 session, when should I start the process? I think the client, the participants have a late plan. So if you could guide here.
Yeah, so see, we do have an upcoming intake, which is the July intake. However, it's, a fast approaching deadline for the July intake, right? We, however, have already closed the applications for July intake. But yes, in case you are serious of coming into July, you think that, if you get your offer letter in time and you'll be able to lodge in for your visa application as soon as possible, your funds, your other documents are completely ready, we can just take it as a one-off case and we can look at the July intake, right? Wherein the orientation starts on the 30th of June and the course start is 7th of July, right? So you can target that. After this, we do have a November intake every year. So in November intake, also you have courses wherein we do have a Masters of Business and Management. We do have Masters of Professional Accounting. We have the Masters of IT, the 240 credit point master's course, which is for students who are coming in from any other background, right? So that is also available, or a Bachelor's of Business. So you have options in the November intake as well. Otherwise, Feb and July, you will have all the options there. For 2027, I think next year will be the right time when you start, because you still have, almost like 2 years from now, if you're looking at a February 2027 intake. So by next year, by the mid of or this time next year, you can start applying for your February 2027 intake. Yeah.
So last question again, because of the sense of urgency I can see on the question. After that, whomsoever will be asking a question, our team will gonna respond after this webinar. So this is from Afsana Afrin Shinam. She's saying that can I apply for graduate diploma in teaching and masters in teaching simultaneously? Can I do that? Actually, there's a she's saying that actually currently I'm doing masters program in Bangladesh, which will end in July. I have got more than 80% marks in bachelor's degree and master's degree. So I wanted to explore that 10,000 New Zealand dollar as a scholarship. If I got the scholarship, then I will go for master's degree. And if I don't get that scholarship, I want to go with the graduate diploma. So can she do that?
See, so initially, what I will recommend student is to apply for a master's course only. Why? Because student has already completed a master's
Hmm.
program, in their home country. So because you've already completed a master's, which is a level 9 program according to the New Zealand studies, right? And graduate diploma is a level 7 program, right? You can try for a graduate diploma program also, but I think at the first place, you should keep an option of doing
Yes.
a master's of teaching and learning program. You keep that as an option, apply for that program. Let's see to what percentage of scholarship that you get. But if you say that you've got above like 80%, or you've got a good percentage in your bachelor, so I think there are very high chances of you getting a scholarship, and
Hmm.
whatever amount you get, that could be adjusted in the tuition fees. But the only challenge now which comes here is that for our teaching, nursing and pharmacy practice programs going forward, we will not be able to provide any sort of scholarships, because these are very in demand programs. We are always bombarded with applications for these programs. So going forward, like from the January intake that we have for teaching courses or nursing for February, there are not going to be any scholarships. So then the student needs to decide whether they want to come into a master's of teaching and learning, but again, or they want to come into a graduate diploma. But yes, if they come into a master's program, they will get the 3 years of post-study work permit once they've completed the program.
Right. So this marks the end of our Q&A session, Shinam. Thank you for that. And I think now we're going to start with our rest of the slides and a
Mm.
video, howsoever you wanted to, showcase. So for the video, I can give you an access, host access. You can now share your video, and I think it would be very beneficial for the participants to check what Shinam is, showing. So Shinam, can I share you the host right?
I've just got that. I've just got that. Yeah, so I'll just play the video now. Yeah, so I have a video wherein I can just show you that will relate that you can relate to the campus and everything that you have, right? So let me just play that for you.
We are the University of Waikato, ranked #1 in New Zealand for research. Our university is recognised as one of the top 100 universities worldwide for sustainability. Waikato Management School is in the top 1% of the world's elite business schools. Our 2 campuses are located in the heart of New Zealand's thriving economy, where booming growth and abundant employment opportunities await. Join our vibrant and multicultural community, a safe and welcoming place for living and studying. We are committed to making a difference, from climate change to artificial intelligence, industry automation to robotics research, marine science and more. We are passionate about creating a tomorrow full of hope. Apply now at the University of Waikato.
And I think so that would have given you a view of the university, the students, and what we've been talking about since the past few minutes. But at the end of it, I just have one story of a student who studied at the University of Waikato. So I would just like to play that video as well once.
Hi, my name is Sherin and I'm from India. I'm doing my Masters of Anthropology here at the University of Waikato. I chose Waikato because of its excellent academic reputation and high quality of teaching and research. I found the academic staff here to be widely respected, experts in their fields, as well as friendly and approachable. What drew me to the University of Waikato is that it is ranked within the world's top 250 and is presently the #1 university for research in New Zealand. A qualification from this globally renowned university was an important factor when choosing a place to study. Once I've completed my master's, I hope to continue studying onto a PhD at Waikato and eventually work in research or teaching. Alongside my studies, I work as a tutor at the University of Waikato, supporting students specializing in undergraduate anthropology. Hamilton is a great place to live as an international student. The city is safe and friendly with plenty of shops, restaurants, and social venues. In my spare time, I love the outdoors and spend my free time hiking and exploring the beautiful natural environment of New Zealand. There's so much to see and do in the Waikato region, from hot springs to glowworm caves and of course the Hobbiton. I play badminton at UniRec, the on-campus gym and fitness center, and I'm a member of the Waikato Tramping Club and Wellbeing Hub. Combined with Waikato's academic reputation, Hamilton City and Waikato region have everything you need as an international student. Why not come and see for yourself here at the University of Waikato?
I think that's it, Navdeep, from my end. Yeah.
Right. So we are towards the end of our webinar. I have mentioned our contact number in the chat section and we have a team in India as well as in New Zealand. So I have mentioned the India number. I would request everyone who have further questions or inquiries, or if you have any further questions or inquiries from Sheenam, you can always get in touch with us. We would forward those questions to Sheenam through us if there could be. So I'm happy to be in touch. Our team is 24/7. Those who are from outside India, they can always get in touch with us through the same WhatsApp number. Our team will respond to you within 24 hours. And I guess, once you are get in touch with us, I hope you would definitely gonna get the high, the services that there we have already 500 Google reviews, positive 5-star reviews. So this summarize that how we work with our clients. So happy to get in touch with you, all of you, to answer your queries. So on this note, thank you so much, Sheenam, for coming here and giving, helping the students out with their queries. I hope the students would get an answers, and then, they would act accordingly by your positive, and patiently giving those lot of answers, in fact. So thank you, everyone, and we'll be in touch with you soon, later on, and please get in touch with our team. Thank you so much, Shriram. Thank you. Bye.
Sure. Thanks, Navdeep, for arranging this, and thank you everyone who joined in and patiently listening to me. I hope, the session was useful and I've not, bored you on a weekend. So yeah, just for anything, if you have any questions or anything, just get in touch with Kiwiana. They are the best people I think I work with. So I think they can just take care of everything else. But yes, if you have anything specifically that you think that, I could answer that, they can just definitely get you in touch with me. So yeah, all the best. And I hope, I wish you luck for your future. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. Bye.